This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
With Amex Platinum,
welcome to the Centurion Lounge.
You get access to the Centurion Lounge, so the sounds of vacation start before you get there. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.
Hello. Welcome back to Peak Northwest, an outdoors and travel podcast by the Oregonian and Oregon Live, dedicated to the adventure and exploration of our beautiful Pacific Northwest. I'm Jamie Hale.
And I'm Vicki Connor. Together, we take you to some of the most beautiful and interesting destinations in our region, discussing where to go, what to do, and places to see. And today, we're taking a little vacation from the Pacific Northwest, and we're living vicariously through a Portland woman who is maybe the most adventurous person we've ever met.
I know that's a little it sounds like it's hyperbole, but I think this is maybe true. So a little background here is that here at the Oregonian, we have to work every like 2 times a year. We have to work a breaking news shift over a weekend. And typically that means you're on call for, crimes or fires or whatever may be happening. But when it's slow, we sometimes get the opportunity to do sort of these feature interviews with people. And I got forwarded from an editor information about a woman named Erica Nelson. And Erica is a fire captain with Portland Fire and Rescue. So she is the captain of a fire station on the edge of Forest Park over here. And all I knew is that she was someone who had done a lot of adventures. So they said, this seems like right up your alley. Why don't you go talk to her? And the interview I did with her was really incredible. And I don't usually do this, but I feel like it was so good that I took the recording of the interview and cut out some of the sort of the bigger pieces of it and wanted to play that for you all here today.
Your written story about her was so incredible. I feel like everything that you wrote and included, I was like, how has someone lived this life?
And without spoiling too much here, it's really, really inspiring. I've received a lot of emails from readers after I put the story out of people saying, Erica's incredible. How does she live this life? So let's let the interview do the talking here. We're going to have a few different clips here and we're going to pop in to chat about it in between. But let's go ahead and get started here with Erica Nelson, the fire captain with Portland Fire and Rescue.
I've always worked in male-dominated arenas, and I've always really enjoyed the challenge of that. I started out early on when I was 18, started working on the commercial fishing boats up in Alaska, and then went into construction work and spent a year working construction in Antarctica, the South Pole and at Palmer Station. Drove heavy equipment for some time, did some wilderness guiding and raft guiding, and then discovered wildland firefighting and started doing that seasonally, and then worked my way to a hotshot crew. Worked on a Lolo hotshots out in Montana. And then, recognizing that I had this love for, of course, excitement and challenge and wild diversity of what we get to do in this job. So I started applying to 2 different departments, and I got hired here with Portland, and that was 1999. So I went from hotshot crew right into the fire academy with Portland.
Wow. It seems like you like it.
Yeah, it's of course been a great career. It's been tremendously rewarding. Of course, again, it's also had its it is a challenging job. Physically very challenging, but I have to be very real about the job, and that it comes with a lot of you do a lot of hard things. You see a lot of hard things. I'm at the tail end of my career. I retired. Christmas Day is my last shift.
Really?
So I'm in this sort of reflective, retrospective space, and really looking back at the last 25 years and what it's been and what I've gotten to experience. Really amazing, beautiful thing, working with just incredible people here, and the things that we are able to accomplish together and as a team. It's phenomenal, and it is much like a very large family of about 600 people, 700 people. But it's all so easy to romanticize or to think that it's all the glory, which it is. But also, it comes with a lot of hard stuff.
Now, Vicky, I don't know about you, but I have not really heard a lot of firefighters talking so openly about the experience and the struggles of being a firefighter before.
Right. I can't imagine, the stuff that she's seen on the job.
I mean, when you think about like what it is to be a firefighter, the physical aspect of it, the always on callness of it, and seeing people when they're injured or struggling or watching their house burn, like there's so much there emotionally too that I imagine that, as Erica told me, gets oftentimes sort of swept under the rug of like the sort of machismo, the kind of the glory of like, we're strong, we're doing our job. And she said, there's a lot of struggles here. Mental health struggles among firefighters are very real. And something that, she didn't want to speak exactly directly to, but I have sort of been reading studies about after in reporting a story, is that female firefighters face a whole separate set of struggles as well. So Erica is one of a very small number of women at Portland Fire and Rescue. So of the currently 690 people who make up Portland Fire and Rescue, only 54 or about 8% are female. That's according to the department spokesperson. Those numbers are like obviously currently fluid. There's a lot of retirements, Erica included, and hiring. So, those numbers aren't exact, but you kind of get the sense that, there's very few women who are doing this job. So, a lot of what we've seen in studies is that female firefighters talk about the lack of like, hey, the equipment doesn't fit, or we're not getting the right kind of training. And what Erica was saying is like, I'm an extremely strong and capable person. And as you can tell, she's worked her way up to be currently the only female fire captain at a fire station in Portland.
Wow.
She's not the only one that's ever been, she's not, the first, but
right.
she is, currently the only one, and about to be, there's about to be none. So, there are certain things that she has struggled with that, other people have not.
Yeah. Wow. Did she talk about what inspired her to get into this line of work?
Well, like she said, it's the physical challenges. It's, just trying all these different things, commercial fishing, doing construction in Antarctica, of all places, like just casually just worked in Antarctica, and doing wildland firefighting and sort of seeing the challenges that come with that. I mean, I got the sense that Erica is a person who thrives in sort of newness and thrives in adventure and physical and mental challenges. And you can really see that as she talks about, the kind of lifestyle that she's been leading.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, adding the firefighting into that, though, that's just like a whole nother level, though. Like, that's That takes a lot of courage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to play the next clip I have here. Erica talks about like what, how she sort of gets into this, adventuring and firefighting, because to do firefighting, you'd think, oh, this is a hard job. I'm just going to like spend my off time relaxing or something. And Erica does kind of the opposite. She really spends all of her off time going even harder than she goes for her job.
I want to shift to so you have experience in, like you said, you've been wilderness guide and doing all these adventures and stuff. Obviously, you don't need to recount all your tales. It's probably a lot. But what from that experience do you feel like you take to this job, or are there any certain particular stories in particular come to mind that sort of inform the work you do here?
Right. These sort of adventures, off the beaten path adventures, it's necessary, of course, to plan for the what ifs, to always be prepared, to be self-sufficient. But also, I would say, such the important part of both this job and being in the world and on the road and traveling, it's all about relationships and interacting with human beings and being able to put yourself in a potentially risky or compromising situation for the reward. So much of what we do here in this job it's about human relations. It's about people, and it's about making quick connections, connecting with someone quickly to be able to hear their story, have some empathy. What do they need? What's going on here? What's really going on? Of course, it's always quick thinking, on your feet. There's a problem, you got to solve it. What are you going to do? Sometimes getting yourself out of, dynamic, risky situations. In just a moment's notice. So how do I connect those? Of course, it's always the physical stamina. Things I love to do are always very physically oriented. So it's always pushing the limits physically and knowing that you're capable of that. What I do out in the adventure world is I'm often pushing my own physical limits, but knowing that, also I bring that back to work and knowing how capable both the body and the mind are to do the work. It's probably.
It's like you can does it give you like a sense of security to know that your body and mind can do so much?
Confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence. Just self-assurance. It's confidence that I know I have what it takes, that I know I'm capable of it. Because I think in this job, women can often be underestimated about our capabilities. And it's knowing I have the confidence of what I'm capable of because I've done so much.
Yeah.
But there's a mental fortitude that comes with that. And that brings confidence. And in this job where you can sometimes be doubted because of your gender and size, it is paramount to have the self-knowledge of my own capabilities and confidence.
it really, really thoughtful stuff. I love this idea of these adventures that she goes on, that like all of us go on, not all of us, but a lot of us, we talk about in the podcast, going out into to the wilderness, going on hikes, going on backpacking trips, bike trips, that giving you this sense of confidence to go off and do other things in your life was something I hadn't really thought much about before.
Yeah. I mean, with her saying all that, that really like struck a chord with me, because I feel like all the, I found that to resonate with me with, all the stuff that I did with, triathlon training this past summer. I'm like, if I can swim in the Columbia River, I can do anything in life,
Yeah.
But obviously with her, it's just next level.
Really, really astonishing. And I know we've kind of like teased all the stuff she's done to this point. I think, as I was doing this interview, I knew that she had done some stuff, but like, I was like, I think I even said, in there, I know, you don't need to recount all your tales, but I got to this point in the interview and I was like, actually, I think I do. I think I do need,
Yeah.
like, what? Let's get into it. And this is where things really got really astonishing here. So let's dive in and hear Erica talk about what it is that she's done around the world.
Yeah.
Speaking to your kind of adventures that you allude to, I wonder if you just give me like a bullet point list of like some of what we're talking about.
Sure. Let's see. One of them is I've shipped my motorcycle down to the tip of South America and rode down to Ushuaia, Argentina, which is the southernmost city in the world, is Ushuaia, Argentina, so the tip of South America, and then rode what's known as the Pan American Highway all the way up to the end of the road in Alaska, in Prudhoe Bay. Most of that was solo. Sections here and there with friends.
How long did that take you to do?
So I did from the first stint from Ushuaia back to Oregon in 3.5 months, and then the following summer took another 6 weeks to go from here up to Prudhoe Bay and back. So, wow. I don't know the stats on it, but it might be like a 15,000 mile. See, another one I spent. I have mountain biked. There's the Great Divide mountain bike route. So I've mountain biked from follows the Continental Divide, and it starts in Banff. So I've ridden from Banff down to New Mexico, and the route finishes in Mexico. So I've been piecing together that Continental Divide mountain bike route over the years. Wow. I have spent 2 months bicycle touring around the Baltic Sea. So flying into the Czech Republic and Prague, and then Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Russia, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and finishing at Oktoberfest in Germany.
Oh, great place to finish.
Yeah, it was a perfect finish to 2 months on the road. Of course, rafting the Grand Canyon three times. Of course. On 3 week private trips. Multiple motorcycle trips around the world. So, like 3 weeks in Scotland on a motorcycle that I rented. Another one I rented a motorcycle in Croatia for 2 weeks and rode through the Balkan states. So Croatia, Albania, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, Bosnia, Kosovo. I think that's it. Rode motorcycles in Nepal, visited Bhutan on a meditation tour, traveling meditation retreat, in addition, and then rented a motorcycle in Nepal.
Traveling meditation retreat on motorcycle. That's like
I know, Zen and the
cool.
art of motorcycle
Exactly.
maintenance. It was actually a trip to Bhutan with a meditation group, and then I went to Nepal and rented the motorcycle. But it was all like the 1 month trip I did. And so then, of course, like I do a lot of bikepacking. If you're familiar, like just 2 days ago, I got back from spending 2 weeks bikepacking the southern tip of Baja.
Awesome.
Stomach is still telling me I'm in Mexico as well. So,
in a bad way or in a good way?
No, in a bad way.
Everyone who goes to Mexico, I think I hear it every
The
time.
guy, same thing, said this morning, like, every time we're going to Mexico. So yeah, it's hanging with me a little bit. So lots of bikepacking adventures. I raft, have my own rafts. Sea kayaking, I'm planning on sea kayaking the Inside Passage from here to Alaska in 3 years, in 28.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Did some sled dog touring, backcountry skiing.
Where'd you do that?
So sled dogging I just did that was last winter in northern Sweden.
Cool.
So went, did a tour through, like a personal tour through Sweden, Nordic skiing and skate skiing, through different areas of Sweden, and then got to the north and went and ran sled dogs for a week. It's crazy, that's fun. So some of the highlights, let me think of some other ones.
There's other ones.
Surf trips, sea kayak trips. Let's see. Yeah, I could come up with a few more.
Well, I mean, are there any activities we haven't covered yet? We talked motorcycle, surfing, mountain biking,
ice climbing, rock climbing. Every winter I go to spend February and part of February ice climbing down in Ouray.
In where?
Ouray, Colorado.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's an ice park down there.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe the beautiful thing is, like, I have a climbing partner who is 72 years old.
Oh, nice.
Retired doctor. And she spends 50 plus days a year on ice. Meaning she's you know what I'm saying, on ice. Right? So she's a role model to me. You know, I have these few older women friends in my life who are still just getting after it. And I love hanging out with these women because they're just showing us how to do it, how to age well, and keep charging.
That's awesome. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 50.
50, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Young.
Yes.
Still. That's the thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to think 50 was dead.
Yeah.
But now that I'm here, like, I just got done, bikepacking in southern tip of Bonn. I mean, that shit's hard. It's really hard.
As long as you take care of your body.
You take care of your body and you keep moving. Like, Karen, get on ice every year, and whatever it is, keep moving, whatever you do. Just keep doing it, right?
Well, what do you plan? So you're retiring this year,
Christmas is my last day. I have a month. I have one more month of work.
What are you going to do after that with yourself? Aside from, like, more of this stuff.
That's what it is. It's more of this. Next summer I will spend them bikepacking in the Balkans. So the same area that I rented a motorcycle in a couple of years ago, I'm going to go back and spend probably like 3 months bikepacking, bike touring in the Balkans, so Slovenia, Croatia, Albania, Macedonia, Kosovo, Serbia, Bosnia, all those. So that's my main trip for next summer, but by January, surfing in Costa Rica. February, I'm ice climbing. March is skis, road tripping. April is biking in the desert. And May, June, July, I'll be overseas. And then coming back. And I am, no exaggeration, I have a spreadsheet of pushing 200 adventures that I want to do. Whitewater, long distance, whitewater canoeing. These long distance kayak routes, so many places I want to bike around the world, motorcycle around the world, kiting, surfing, winging. I live in the gorge, so I'm a wind sport, telemark skier. Like, it's a kind of like, this is a little obnoxious to talk about, right? Because I mean, truth is, I have a boyfriend, but single and no kids, haven't been married, and it has not allowed me, but this is the life I've chosen, right? This is the life I've chosen, and I have this amazing career that's allowed me the freedom and the resources. And I've always just had clearly this drive to drive. It's curiosity. Like it's just curiosity to know and see and experience and understand people. And it's curiosity. And, I say it's curiosity about the world, it's curiosity about people and places, and it's also sort of what I was speaking to. It's sort of the curiosity of, like, what else are we capable of? What else is this physical body capable of? And every bit of it, out there is... I always go up against doubt. I mean, it kind of speaks to both sides of this. Doubt. Am I really capable of this? Can I really do this? Can I, being a solo female in the world, move about without? Well, I'm always facing my fears, right? It's the risk versus reward. The reward being, for me, it's always been about the people, I would say, and it's almost cliche. It's always about the people, right? Both here in the Bureau, in the work that we get to do, and in the big world and all these adventures that I choose to do. It's just connecting with human beings that you otherwise wouldn't get to. You wouldn't get to know their experiences, right?
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of what I'm hearing you talk about, like a lot of these big solo trips, but then also I'm hearing you like, you got these, you climb your ice climbing partner. Yeah. And I imagine when you're out there bikepacking the Balkans, you're stopping places, you're talking to people, you're meeting folks.
Oh, it's the best, of course, right? And I would say, like, I struggle with both sides of it because I think there's great advantage to being solo. And I would say particularly being a solo female. Yeah, there's risk to it, but also people. When I'm alone, I'm much more approachable, both by women and by men. So often, if you can imagine, if I'm with a partner, a guy, or a group of people, like you're just insulated, you're insular, where you're less approachable. You have each other, someone from the outside going to come up and talk to you, and even more so being, like I said, being a solo female, like I'm less intimidating or threatening than some dude, and people are curious, women who couldn't imagine ever seeing a woman on a bicycle or alone or on a motorcycle by herself. It sparks their curiosity, and all of a sudden I can just see, I've seen young girls and young women, their eyes just light up when they see me, because suddenly they're imagining themselves. I never knew a woman could do that. And I would say this also relates to this job too, that I think is so important, is for other girls and young women to see women doing this job, because it's the adage of you got to see it to be it, So it's always, I love, when we're out, we're just out in public or doing some community education, public education, and just really connecting with, the girls and the young women. And, just today in the parking lot, we're at the Safeway parking lot, we're sitting in the rig, and there was a young girl, and she was with her dad. She was probably 12 years old, and she had her soccer uniform on, and she's walking by the fire engine, and she looks up into the window, and she sees it's me, and I saw her look again, and we held eye contact for, a few seconds, and I gave her a wave, and you never know. Like, is that something that sticks? Or even if it doesn't, that we start to see a broader view, broader perspective of who does this job. It's this too, right? We have to start seeing more people and doing more things. Women on motorcycles, women traveling alone, women in non-traditional roles, be it fishing boats, police officers, firefighters, construction work. We need it, right? We need to see these things.
My eyes are getting moist.
Yes, I was gonna say, I hope I'm not the only one. Wow, just what an incredible off the cuff. That wasn't scripted, right? I mean, we just sat down and this is just who Erica is. Unspooled all of that. I mean, you could hear probably my disbelief in the number of things that were coming out adventure wise. But then also the resonant emotional component of that personally, and like, you know, for women, for girls, for the world to see her doing this, like I just something about knowing that I'm going to go through my life and Erica, like knowing Erica's out there somewhere
Yeah.
doing something like this brings joy to my heart.
Potentially the coolest person ever lived.
I mean,
just so inspiring. And I really liked her insight into you know, being a single woman doing these activities, and that you're capable of doing it and you can do it, and it opens up a lot of doors to meeting new people and finding community, and that in return you're kind of never alone. So I really liked that a lot.
I loved, you know, when she talked about seeing that like 12-year-old girl in the parking lot.
Oh my god, painting that picture is like a movie scene.
Even if that girl like doesn't pursue a career in firefighting, right? Mm-hmm. Seeing that Erica is there does something. Yeah. And for you know, for girls and for everyone, I mean, seeing that, not just that like she's a firefighter, that she's a fire captain, and that she's been doing it for 25 years, and that she's killing it, and she's out there doing all these other things. I mean, just how capable is this person? It's so truly inspiring.
I didn't know anyone is capable of like having this many adventures. I mean, just, you know, going through that incredible laundry list of you know, and so casually too, because
yeah,
you know, of course, rafting in the Grand Canyon, of course,
done it 3 times. Yeah, all right, that's like a life, like any one of those is like, you know, a marquee adventure for anyone. Yeah. But to do one of those a month, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Like when she talked about the first half of her first year of retirement, that's just the first half of her year. I was like, well, what are you going to do in October, November, December? I'm sure it's other stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. And, you know, I enjoyed her talking about her own role models and these ice climber lady friends, and you know, it's kind of hard to believe that someone who's accomplished so much, like who are your role models? Please tell me. So yeah, wow, what an inspiring human being.
Yeah. Well, we're very grateful to Erica for talking to us, for allowing us to use that interview here on the podcast. We did ask her about it, and boy, just what else can you say? Definitely, Erica, we wish you a happy retirement.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, an adventure-filled retirement for sure.
Well, folks, that will do it for us for today. Until next time, you can watch our videos on the Oregonians YouTube channel and view all of our travel and outdoors coverage on OregonLive.com/travel, as well as HereIsOregon.com.
Please leave us a rating or review if you enjoy the show. And if you want to support this podcast as well as our local journalism, please consider a subscription to Oregon Live. You can find details at OregonLive.com/pod support. Also, if you're a fan of the show and you're interested in potentially sponsoring it, you can get in touch with our marketing people at advertise@oregonian.com. This episode of the show was produced by me, Vicki Connor, alongside Jamie Hale.
Stay safe and happy travels, everyone. Until next time, we leave you with this 10 seconds of Zen.